Okay, let's go back to yesterday. My 3 o'clock meeting with the community history librarian. I packed up all my history in my suitcase. The suitcase that I carried when I was 5 years old. My first day to school. Little Maureen Kennedy. But you know, it wasn't me at the top of the pile. It was John and Gwen, otherwise known as Mum and Dad. It was Dracky, otherwise known as Myrtle, or Grandma Kennedy. Myrtle Winifred Kennedy of Dulwich Hill. Will be celebrated in St Ambrose, Concord Catholic Church, Concord West, Victoria Avenue, next Wednesday afternoon, commencing at 2 o'clock. Oh, God. Do you know why this is so hard to read? That I know that neither of my parents would have made the papers because they died in a nursing home, separated. Oh my God. You know, this is how family histories get erased. We don't even need the Nazis to come in. Well, I'm thinking the Nazi like my brother. Anywho, we can't even think of our parents and grandparents. Like, the memory gets lost because the story is too hard to tell. It's not just that the documents get stolen, we can't look at the documents. We can't speak of the atrocity, and we just carry it inside us. And all the history gets lost. I know exactly how it works. You know, because I was fighting to release my mother from being a ward of the state under the grip of the public guardian and locked in a dementia ward where she did not belong and which was dangerous for her. Because I was fighting for Mum at the time, and everybody had just ganged up. My siblings, with the doctor, Dr. Hislop, with the nursing home management, with the public guardian, and we're weaponising absolutely all the forces of state and authority and all the legal weapons, everything against me. I didn't get to go to either of my parents' funeral. and I didn't get to be a part of it. And my you know, I was just looking at this, you know, Walter and Sons were used for both, all, you know, the funerals. Walter and Son. And you know, my cheap ass siblings who didn't want to spend too much of my parents' money, where'd they go? budget funerals in Enfield. Budget funerals. Okay, slide your SIM card into the SIM tray, sliding in until it does not go in any further. Ensure the gold plates are facing downwards and the cornered edge is in the upper left corner. Okay, we'll try that. Do it. Okay, so being the old person that I am, I can't put a SIM card into a big button phone. I'd say that's pretty disabled, wouldn't you? Oh la la. Here's the Anglican church. This is where my mother's father was buried, and his mother, and you know, still got to find out the rest, you know, by the Anglicans, and yeah, my mother's mother was Catholic, so my mother's father was Anglican, and my mother's mother was Catholic, so therefore they're buried at different parts of Rookwood. And in those days, right, my mother loved football, man. I think this is soccer, but Mum loved football. Dad didn't. Anyhow, Dad loved Latin. Anyway, my mother's father and mother were separated. He I don't know why he married her. He married her because she was the belle of Petersham, and then he treated her like a slave. And my mother had certain sort of habits from that I didn't understand when I was a child, but gee, I understand them now. And my dad got the big funeral and, you know, the songbook and everything else. Well, Myrtle didn't. She just, you know, died in her little Catholic letterbox in Rookwood. And in those days, you know, like, people weren't divided by race, you know, because they're pretty much, apart from the Aboriginals and the Chinese, all the same colour. They were divided by class and they were divided by religion. And all of that history of Australia has just been abolished. It's just been abolished. And me, where does it leave me? Nowhere. She's a real nowhere man, living in her nowhere land, making all her nowhere plans for nobody.